Okay, so the next big thing you're going to get is, well, the next argument you're going to get is, why is it that big of a deal? Well, it's a big deal because it again, I'm going to go back to the Roomba. Would you have bought a Roomba if it sat there vacuuming your floor saying, "Hey, shop at Kmart now." I know Kmart doesn't exist anymore. "Hey, shop at Kmart now because we're 20% off and blah 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 blah," just to vacuum your floor? No. No. Now, if Roomba wanted to offer that as an option and hey, here's a model that's half the price. Maybe $250 is a bit steep for you, but maybe you can buy the $100 model, which is basically the $250 model, but then you basically, it's a 2-year contract where you have to listen to ads every time it runs. Well, okay, the consumer can make the decision at that point. They can make an informed decision about what they want. I wasn't actually able to make an informed decision about this television because I had no, because it did not tell me what I was getting into. And like I pointed out, it doesn't show the ad on the menu bar on the main box art, and it says something in very small print on the side flap, in plain black lettering about possibly getting ads on the smart TV user interface. Not about the basic TV user interface, about the smart TV user interface. Ooh. So already, this is a scummy practice on the part of Samsung to deliberately obfuscate these things to get the TV into your home and then just say, well, deal with it. And that's really what I think they're saying is deal with it. So this, and just to point out, things similar to this have already happened, and there's already been a lot of backlash in other venues. Notably, Audible ads on websites. Now, I do surf the internet quite a bit, and I go to a lot of different websites. And I remember when Audible ads on websites became a thing. Wow, was I pissed. Because I'm the kind of person that will, what I'll do is I'll go in, I'll have something that I want to Google or search, but I don't have the time to look into it right now. So I'll open up a new screen. I'll search, candied apples. Sure. I'll search candied apples. And then I'll just leave that screen open. And I know at some point when I come back to the computer, I'll see that open screen. And I go, oh, right, I wanted to look up candied apples and maybe how to make them for the kids. And I'll just sort of leave it there. And maybe I'll open up a few other screens and know I'll get back to them later. I don't start and finish my surfing session in one sitting. Sometimes I have to take a break. I have to get up and go and do something. I don't want to deal with this right now. I'll come back to it, but I'll leave the windows open. Yeah, when the Audible ad thing started, because some pages are set to automatically refresh at a certain point. So I would fall asleep watching Twitch. And then the streamer on Twitch would stop streaming, and it would just, the screen would go silent, or the monitor would go silent, and then it would go black because there was no activity, but the computer was still running. Well, then some of those websites that I had gone to earlier in the day had reloaded, and they'd reloaded with Audible commercials, screaming at the top of their lungs to make you, and they do this deliberately, to make you switch tabs and deal with them. Because then the website can say, hopefully you misclick, hopefully just Xing out or pushing the silence button will give us a click so we can go to the seller and say, oh, look, we've had 1,000 people click on this in the last hour. Yeah, they clicked on it to shut it the fuck up. But that was part of the point of those loud, obnoxious Audible ads on websites. And it got to the point where I would literally woken up from a dead sleep going, what the fuck is going on? I'm like literally reaching for my fucking gun because there's suddenly something being blasted into my bedroom at 3 a.m. in the morning. No joke. This actually happened multiple times. And I would have a bunch of screens open, but I had no idea what the fuck was going on. So I would just mute my fucking computer and be like, what the fuck is going on? And then I'd go through all these screens until I finally found the ad playing and I fucking shut the thing down. Now, not only is that problematic because I just lost what was ever on that screen that I actually wanted to get back to at some other point, which I feel is not an unreasonable thing to do. I keep internet browser windows open all the time. Now, maybe most people don't do that, but I do all the time just because it's like, all right, I want to open that link because I want to remember to come back to that later. I'll be back in a few hours. I got errands to run. Well, those went away pretty quick. I haven't had a problem with any of those in a long time. And I still go to the same websites. Now, maybe in part it was because I wrote very nasty, strong-worded letters to those corporations who are doing this, why I will never buy their product. And I have a feeling a lot of people did. Because I cannot be the only person who's run into that problem. I mean, even just browsing the internet, you're not listening to anything, you're just browsing, then all of a sudden, hey, buy Avadavara, this ED medication. Yeah, your penis doesn't work, but buy this medication. And then they're like, what the fuck, shut up, leave me alone. I don't want to listen to this. I mean, that's, as soon as you go from taking up a little bit of my visual space on a website to audibly bombarding me, it's a whole nother ballgame. So a lot of that has gone away from what I've seen. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe they simply shifted gears and are doing it some other way, or whatever the case is. But those companies are going to lose business because of that, because people will then start associating their company with obnoxious advertising. And companies do not want negative advertising. You do not want your company to become the next meme. You don't, in a bad way. You don't want that. So a lot of that went away. Additionally, Windows started talking about putting ads on their home screen. Where you've got that nice, random, pretty art on your, basically what used to be a screensaver. We really don't use screensavers anymore because modern monitors don't have that same problem. But if you recall, that was a thing. And boy, did people very loudly and audibly tell Windows no. And Windows backed down. They backed down and said, oh, no. Okay, you're right. We're listening. Microsoft backed down and said, no, we're listening. It's not going to be ads. We are going to put links on the pictures when they are relevant to the pictures. Or like holiday stuff. And what it was a way of developing clicks for their Bing crap. And Bing sucks, by the way. Firefox for life. But people audibly said, no, we're not okay with this, Windows. We are not okay with it. Or Microsoft. We're not okay with this. And they listened and they backed down. Now, there are still links there, but they're not advertisements. They're usually about the picture that's actually up, which isn't, at least there's some justification there. Really, they're just looking to try and get you to use Bing. And that's not that bad. It's not that obnoxious. And I think I've maybe accidentally clicked on one or two of those once or twice. I mean, literally like once or twice. I may have accidentally clicked on one when I actually meant to click on the box to enter my PIN number to open up the screen. So yeah, it's pretty minor. Now, now I will say that might be the step in the wrong direction, and it's one of those incremental steps where it's like, okay, we get you used to this, then we take it to this level, then we take it, and then finally, in 10 years, maybe it's ads, and nobody says anything because it's the new norm. And that's kind of what I think is going on here with Samsung, is I think that they are assuming that constantly being splashed by ads on your television, I think that they're assuming and hoping people will accept this as the new norm and that they can get away with it. I'm not going to let that happen.